Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where I take a look at early open or closed betas, subscription trials, and simpler titles, giving you a quick first impression. Today I'll be looking at Black Gold, a fantasy sci-fi MMO, currently in open beta, brought to you by Snail Games, the publishers and developers of Age of Wushu. And it shows. The story consists of two factions of people, one focused on technology and resource gathering, and the other a nature-focused race willing to work with the flora and fauna of the planet to defend it at any cost. If this sounds like the plot of James Cameron's Avatar, let me remind you that Snail isn't exactly known for its subtlety. Graphics in the game are okay. They're imaginative designs with the not Navi aside, like the fact that the technological faction is using a more steampunk aesthetic, even better than City of Steam did. Still, it shouldn't take too much to run the game, and it's not taking full advantage of any current graphic trends. It doesn't look as nice as Age of Wushu either, and Snail brand quirkiness is ever present. Character animations are choppy, your model freaks out when you're hitting certain parts of the environment. Animations are ridiculously choppy, but they're balanced by flashy attack effects and imaginative, complex areas. The interface is simple in design, but cluttered with poor and various font choices, odd icons all over the place, and windows popping up at the most random of times. It's pretty much Snail in a nutshell. The game's music isn't all that remarkable, but certainly not invasive in the least. It does well to serve as background music, and it doesn't overpower the sound, and has interesting orchestral swells. I just don't find myself seeking out that soundtrack. Nothing really got my attention. In conjunction, I don't find anything remarkable about the game's sound work either, but it's not wholly offensive to my ears. I've just not found anything about it to note. It's just solid. And there. The game plays a lot more theme park than Age of Wushu, with a straightforward tutorial that explains the very basics and ends with an unwinnable boss fight. It's far easier to understand than Age of Wushu was, especially if you're familiar with the layout of most any world MMO. Basic combat consists of target and click combat, but has an air of action combat to it as well, as you won't automatically turn to hit any enemy that you're targeting. And there's that element of gameplay from WildStar, Guild Wars 2, or The Secret World, where you'll get telegraphed massive attacks from enemies, and you can use a double-tap dive roll to avoid them. A more unique feature comes in the form of a battle mech, or battle pet, depending on your faction. The battle mechs even play with an optional FPS style, but switching from your mech to the basic control scheme can be a bit jarring until you get used to it, as mech controls are completely different from the standard combat system. Another odd feature are the hidden dungeons, where traveling around the map in areas you either need to go, or just easily missed, might prompt you that a dungeon is nearby. The dungeons, at least the few I've come across, are very small and have a very difficulty curve. The first staged one for the story quest was absurdly easy, and the second one I managed to find in a network of pipes was impossible for me to solo when I found it. It's an odd choice to hide these dungeons, but it does at least reward map exploration. Snail's ever-present subscription option of VIP status exists in this game as well, as the Knight of Montel status. Just like VIP from Wushu, it's there to help you gain experience and speed along your progression. But at least starting out, there didn't seem to be any real reason to get it. That, of course, all depends on who you ask, and perhaps my tune would change if I were to delve deeper into this game for a full review. Which I won't be doing, at least until the game announces as a full launch, or at least remains a good long while in open beta status. I have enough in my queue as it is. Black Gold definitely seems to be a departure from Snail's other fare, but while still retaining that polarizing, quirky Chinese charm that the company is known for. I suppose I could sum this up to most of my community members with the following statement. Black Gold has a pretty interesting concept so far, but it's still pretty Wushu. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.